I see what you're saying. You're saying so that historically the movies that are making money are this, and so that if you're trying to switch it up and make it, you know, the different type of story, how do you succeed in that regard? Is that kind of what you're saying? Or how do you change the mindset of the audience?
Perspective about India that way.
Well, look, India is a country, you're right, and so it's here, and you know, and you said you haven't met many Indians that like Slumdog, and I'd love to know why. Look, in portraying the Indian culture is one thing. I look at it and I go, there's a movie that's thrilling. He took a dramatic film and made it thrilling. You know how many Oscar movies are the most boring freaking movies you've ever seen in your life? This was not boring. You know, he says that he takes every movie he makes and makes it an action film, no matter what. So I look at that and I go, that's a stylistic choice that he's making as a director. You know, whether the content is what's right about the culture or whatever, I say I can respect the movie in that regard. If you are making a film and you say, okay, I'm gonna, like Bryce said, you want to make something different, make it different, and then you go, well, you know, India, the audience in India is not gonna like it because the audience in India is one of the territories. There's Canada, there's Mexico, there's Germany, there's Spain, there's global audience, man, and there's India, the Indian Americans. All over the United States and in London, you know what I mean? And so they may not have the same mindset. So I would say stop thinking about what the Indian audience is going to do and say, let's make it for everyone. And you know what? You want to make a movie like Slumdog and portray them in a positive light to people, you know, something different. You know, it's like, look, I joke, I'm from New Jersey. I grew up in the 4th richest county in the entire country of the United States. There's a TV show called The Jersey Shore, okay? It's horrible. It's a horrible show. And it's about one city called Seaside that all of us stayed away from because it was so creepy, right? But then everybody thinks, oh, you're from New Jersey, Jersey Shore, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's because that's the perception that's out there. So perception is all that matters. Change perception. Does that make sense?
Easy, huh?
Yeah, it's not easy, you know, but that doesn't mean it can't be done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's our favorite part of the job is the editing, the final draft. You know, I mean, even though you have the final draft in the script, the final draft is when you edit the picture. Yeah, I mean, my brother just had the movie we produced together, Sprawl. You know, had all sorts of shots that he loved and took a lot of time with. And then we go to the editing table and we're like, nah, doesn't do anything for the story. You know, gone. No.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't that easy to. Big arguments. But yeah,
so.
You know, yeah, no. In film, they say film is an editor's medium. You know, theater is an actor's medium, and film is an editor's medium. That's who's painting the picture. You know, but if it's good and it works in the story, it's there. You know, the perfect example. There was a movie made in, I think it won Best Picture in 1986 called Platoon. That's a famous Oliver Stone thing because it was a first draft. There's a first draft of the script. That's I think the only one that's ever happened. Usually it's the 78th draft that gets made. You know, and it's like so. If it's good and it works, it's going to work. You know, but look, that's the chaotic. We say all the time, there's movie gods. There's literally movie gods that decide to shine on you or not. Like that movie, The Attic. I wrote that, and people would read it like, dude, this is the best horror movie ever. And the reviews were terrible. By the time I got to the editing room, it just didn't work anymore. You know, and that's unfortunate, and that happens. But you just have to hope the movie gods shine on you. You know, and I mean, Avatar. You've seen Avatar? Yeah. Like, I saw the trailer for that, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, it looked like Fern Gully. It was like a kind of weird, bluish thing, but then you saw the movie, and you were like, this movie's awesome. You know, so like what it catches on, you know, the word the zeitgeist, or, you know, it becomes the tipping point that everybody goes, oh, you gotta see this, and everybody talks about it, and, you know, and so movie gods is the easy answer. So.
You know what? I mean, yeah, there's always mistakes along the line.
Doesn't say getting married.
Yeah, getting married. But what kind of helps not so much making mistakes is, you know, knowing where you're at. So my brother and I started in short films. We didn't make a feature film until we felt comfortable making a feature film. Like the whole jumping in the pool thing. So we're just like, okay, time to raise $1 million, make our first feature film. And then yes, of course, there are mistakes along the way that you won't do in your next movie. Like, I just can't think of anything specific.
Yeah, anything specific, you know? Or I can say, don't do this, is tough. But I'll say this, you know, the past cannot be changed. You can only learn from it or change your attitude towards it. You know, and if you look at that and you go, yeah, I'm going to mess up. You know, There was a fantastic commercial years ago of Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, and he's talking about how many shots he missed. You know, and he talks about how many shots he misses all the time, and he's got the statistics. All statistics have been missing. You know what I mean? And he says, but it's because of this that I'm the greatest basketball player in the world. And you know what I mean? So you got to miss, and you got to, but it's in a spiritual kind of viewpoint. It's that time, you know, when you have to jump to the next level, what do you have to do first? You have to crouch down. When you have to fire a bow, an arrow, you have to pull back before it shoots off. So you look and you go, man, I just failed big time and I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, guess what? Around the corner might be, you know, and because you had that, if you didn't have this, it wouldn't. We saw it yesterday, actually. You know, if you didn't have this, you would never get to that next level.
I would say, like, the biggest mistake I see with filmmakers that we're surrounded by is, you know, working months and months on something and writing and gathering a team, making your movie, and then never finishing it.
Yeah.
So what I suggest is, if you're going to start something, I don't care if you hate this thing, just finish it, because you'll never learn if you don't.
Yeah.
You put it out there, put it in front of an audience, they might love it, you know, but just finish what you start. You know?
But, you know, and even before that, take action. I mean, if you say the one thing that separates successful people from unsuccessful people, it's not where they're born, it's not their male or female, it's not, you know, their culture. It is if they do something or not. They take action. So do it. You know what I mean? Don't just plan it. Don't just think about it. Don't just say one day I'm going to try it. You know what I mean? No, say I'm going to do this and do it and jump in the pool and make something happen. Take action. Writing it with an actor in mind is not a bad thing, but always be able to say I can be flexible. The is one of the greatest of all time. Guys auditioning, they bring in little Dustin Hoffman, little Jewish guy, and he nails the audition, and they were like, time out. And they talked about it, and they're like, this is the guy we want. I can't say specifically what they would like, you know, like subject matter, but I would say good stories, you know. That's the key. That movie was so sweet the other night, you know. It's about a guy. We didn't understand. We just started crying. I mean, like, yeah. It was like, because it was like this guy, we both have kids, you know, and this guy doing something for his son. And, you know, the wife had died, and it was so sweet, you know, and it's like, so those are universal things, love, and, you know, and excitement and action. If you made the Indian version of Speed, you don't think that's going to play everywhere, you know what I mean? They're going to go, this is awesome. I mean, look, I love scary movies. If you have the best part about scary movies is knowing, even I'm a huge fan, I don't give a crap who's in them. I don't care. I don't watch it and go, ooh, Jessica Alba. I don't care. I watch it and I go, does that look scary? I'm going. I don't care if it's Indian, it's Japanese, it's Chinese. If I look at that trailer and I go, oh, that looks so scary, I am going there opening night and paying my money to watch the movie. So, cool.
Great.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Cool. Thank you.